Welcome everyone to our first ever live episode.
The main characters is all about queer joy, self-love and iconic guests.
It's fun, it's needed.
Let's get into it. So for the first time this season, we actually left the house.
Yes. And first of all, we want to thank you all for coming because it means a lot. We've been working on this for quite some time and it's really nice to have all of you here and to get your support.
So give yourself a round of applause. Thank you.
And we usually start by asking, how are you? So let's do that. How are you? How are you doing?
I'm good. I mean, it's a busy period right now, so it's Pride, so it's like basically my busiest season, so I have a lot of events coming on right now. So.
Yeah, because you organize Crash, you organize Damage.
Yes, and then also this afternoon I went to a book signing of René Zuiderveld.
Yes.
It's well, famous, I would say, fetish photographer here in the Netherlands, and he is, I think, 76.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on that. But
sorry, René, if we have your age wrong.
Sorry. And he released a book of all his work, and he asked me if I wanted to help him, so I designed a book for him.
I love it.
It's right here.
So you're also a graphic designer these days?
Yeah. I don't do one thing really good. I just do a lot of things, fairly.
Yeah.
So. Een mannetje van alles, they say in Dutch.
Yeah, and in English they say slashy. Slashy, that's somebody who is like a DJ slash actor slash...
Yeah, like my LinkedIn is like brrr.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that's very true. How are you, Marco?
I'm doing good.
Yeah.
I was very stressed the last couple of days because preparing for this. Also stressed because I have ADHD, so anxiety goes along with it sometimes. But I'm also very excited. And I'm very happy that everyone is here, and I'm looking forward to doing this with you today.
Yeah.
So one more time, hey everyone, thanks for being here. And
anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah, maybe how we started this.
Yeah, I think that's a good one.
Because for the last 2 years, we were here with a panel.
And for Wings Talks?
Yes, and the panel was about kink.
Yeah, fetish, kink, sex, all those kind of things.
Yes.
For Mr. B. And Marco and I have been working together for quite some time now, especially with Mr. B, but also other projects. And we've always been talking about, we should do a podcast, like everybody says, because who doesn't have a podcast, that's the point. But we were doing the Wings Talks, and I think you and Pablo got inspired.
Yeah, we thought maybe it's fun to also like do a series of panels.
Yeah.
And then somehow it blended together, and we thought, okay, let's do both. Let's do a podcast, let's do a panel, and see if that works. Yeah. So, and I'm really happy that for the first time we have this event here.
Yeah, an actual audience, which is nice.
Yeah.
Well, we usually do, because normally we have the Pinup Gallery.
Yes, the Pinup Gallery is basically the really big leather sofa in my house and in Pablo's house.
Yeah.
And it fits a lot of people, but not this amount of people.
No, we can try though.
We haven't tried yet.
Maybe next time.
Maybe next time.
Who knows?
So yeah, I think that's it, right?
I think so.
Are we ready?
We can go to our first guest.
Yeah, then let's get into it. Please welcome to the stage our very first guest, Cris Faluba.
Yeah.
So this episode we will focus on queer joy and self-love, like we usually do, but we go a little bit more in depth.
Yeah. Our main characters today are social scientist Linda Duits, who's over there, who just finished a book about pleasure, aka joy.
Yes. And we have Lilly Akuma, who is a drag queen that is making a name. She is a drag queen who's making a name for herself all over Europe.
Yeah. But today we're going to kick off with our first main character, Cris Faluba, as you just before. He's an art director from Brazil.
Yes, he's a loving cat daddy, meow, meow, meow.
A one-time fitness cover model who calls Amsterdam his home.
Yes, you should see that cover, very hot, yes. Plus he's also responsible for our new branding, of which we are very proud.
Yeah. And Cris, it's nice to have you with us.
Yes.
Thank you guys, thank you for having me. Actually, it's my very first podcast, so I'm virgin. Like a virgin. Yeah. So it's really nice.
Yeah, I didn't get those virgin vibes from you.
How are you doing?
I'm doing really well,
Yeah?
actually. Yeah. Actually, I'm starting this new moment in my life, After so many years working created agencies, I started listening to that quote that I love so much. Ask yourself what would share do.
Yes.
Yeah, it's so meaningful. And I started doing it, because I think iconic people like Cher, like Charlie XCX, taught us so much about being ourselves, to just trust our guts and do something about it. And that's what I did. So it's a very special moment for me. And
because you started, to be clear, you started freelancing, right?
I started doing freelancing, and I created like a very tiny but very bold studio in my home.
Can you explain a little bit about what you do?
I'm actually a creative director. My work is focusing on branding, art direction, packaging, graphics, motion, and of course adding a lot of vibes into it. I love to say where I came from. Actually, I came from Brazil, for those if you don't know me at all. And I say it because not only because I love the country I came for and that I love Brazil and stuff, but what Brazil taught me. And Brazil taught me how to be passionate about life, about what you do, about your friends, husband, cats, whatever, to embrace energy, to be vibrant about it.
Yeah, and maybe we can have a little look at some of your work, because one of the things you did, you worked for the Olympics in Rio in 2016.
Which is iconic.
Sorry, where are you in the picture?
Yeah, I'm there, like very young.
Oh, yeah.
In the corner there.
Very 2016 haircut you have there as well. Yeah, I'm here for it.
Yes, and of course it wasn't a project that I did by myself, being myself and I. It wasn't.
It's quite a big project.
It's a huge project that made everything change in Brazil because we were very proud about to have the Olympic Games in the country and to show branding as the way Brazilians like to do, like gathering nature, people, culture, in colorful energy. It's all about energy, to be passionate about to have such a special event in the country.
And we were talking about branding. Can you maybe, for the people who don't know exactly what it is, explain us what is branding?
Branding is just like you or a product or an idea or project, but it's introduce itself to the world without saying anything. So it's just like us, the way we the clothes we wear, our hair, our attitude, and people want to get to know you better. Do the same with a brand. So, but adding some assets like graphic ones, color, typography, and introduce in a manner to stand out in the middle of so many competitors around.
So you basically give a personality to a product.
Totally. The idea is to create this kind of persona to the brand with traits, emotions, feelings, and people will connect somehow to it. Yeah. This project I love most as well because it connects with our community that we worked for. I did this work for Gazibara, which is the club my husband used to have in Brazil for 12 years. And it was about to embrace ourselves, to create a safe environment to the club. And we used real clients to create all the campaigns for this in a manner to focus in queer joy, believe yourselves, be protected through a community that we work so hard.
And you say real clients, you mean those are people that actually went to the club, right?
Yeah.
So you actually get the vibe of the club itself.
Totally. We used to have like those regular ones that were like fan clubs, fan of the clubs itself. So we had like very good time creating crazy things.
Okay, unusual and unexpected, love it. Let's take a look at what you did for us, because you I think it's called pro bono, right? When you do something because you support something. So not pro bono for the ones who. And you made some beautiful things for us, and we already kind of soft launched it on our socials and stuff. But let's have a look at what you did for us. Some of you might recognize some things that they said on there. stickers.
Soon available.
Flags. Yes. Thank you so much. Thanks so much. Do you like it? Is it pretty?
Yeah, I must say we are so happy with it. We saw like your first presentation and we were instantly sold. Can you tell us a little bit about the idea behind it and how you came up with it?
It's beautiful because I'm a developer, as you guys know. Storytelling is the base, it's foundation for every work I do. It's the soul of any brand that you work for. And I started thinking about that every person here in our community has a voice and must be heard. More than that, I think it must be celebrated. The neon colors, street arts, unapologetic, chaotic, it's all part of the process as well. Typography, I think it's also really important in the whole creative process because the idea here is to bring this editorial vibe and showing that it's a podcast recorded here in Amsterdam. So I think it's really important to create these symmetrical types, very tall, just like the buildings we have here, and connect somehow for the viewer that we are watching something here in the Netherlands. Also the colors, of course. I love the balance between the pink, which is very neon, very classy, and it comes to here community, in the balance with the green and blue. And of course, I think the bands, I think it's the main character when it comes to design language because it guides the whole viewer through informations, curiosities, any kind of things that we want to stand out over there. And but together they create the brand, they create the flag.
Beautiful.
I love it.
Thank you so much. Last but not least, where can people find you? I think they already saw it on the screen.
You can just DM me on Instagram, Cris Faluba. I'm changing my whole account there, showing all the archives and files that I've forwarded so far, the whole years. I think you are traditional as well, my email, falubachris@gmail.com.
Perfect. We'll put anything for the people on YouTube and Spotify. We put it in the box below.
Corporate by LinkedIn, Cris Faluba. I'm also there. Yeah, hit me up.
Yes,
perfect.
Hit him up. Thank you so much for coming, and thank you for all the beautiful work. They love you. They love you. They love you.
Well, thank you, Cris, so much. We are super happy with the design. It really makes everything full circle for us, so we love it. Our second guest is Linda Duits.
Yes. So, Linda is a postmodern phenomenon.
A podcaster.
Yes, she's rebel scum.
A blogger.
Yeah, a columnist.
Dedicated cat mom.
Yeah, she's a public speaker.
And a social scientist specialized in pop culture, gender and sexuality.
Yes, and she just finished writing her new book, which is called Leuk, which loosely translates to fun.
Which is all about plezier, aka pleasure or joy, whatever translation suits you best.
Yes. Linda, leuk to have you today.
So how are you doing? Did you recover from your visit to Hohl Festival?
Anybody else was at Hohl? Barely.
There was a heavy case of corona going on,
Yeah,
right?
I got a little corona after that. You can still hear it in my voice, but it was a great edition. Yeah, it was my first time, and it's like we'll talk about queer joy.
Yeah.
It really is a queer joy paradise. Yeah.
And like one of our friends who was also here, Juan, he said that there were so many gay men there suddenly, like all these muscle gays, like more than usual. Did you experience that as well?
So the thing is, I really like the muscle gays. And there's a lot of bitching going on, I think, within our community at large. And a lot of that is directed at muscle gays. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't any bad muscle gays around, because there's bad apples within any group. Again, I think we really need to stop looking inside in our community.
Like inside fighting.
Inside fighting, because there's an enemy. They're not outside the gates, they're sort of already inside, right? The storm is here, it's already raining. We need to stick together.
I agree.
So yes, there were a lot of muscle gays, and they have beautiful bodies, and I dance with them, and they're awesome.
So next year we're going?
Yes, we'll join you next time. So tell us about your book. Maybe where did the idea come from to write a book about plezier, about joy?
Yeah, so the idea actually started during Funhouse. So that's where I got my love for the muscle games. I love the circuit, so shoot me. It was during this weird period in COVID times when we were allowed to go out until midnight, right? It was that Cinderella phase. And I was at Funhouse, and I'd been there before, but COVID sort of changed my perspective, and I saw all the fun that people were having, and I realized how much I missed it. And during COVID, fun, anything having to, so in Dutch, plezier is both pleasure and fun, right? So anything having to do with fun or pleasure was restricted. So we were no longer allowed, if you were single, you were no longer allowed to have sex, right? You were only allowed to have sex with someone part of your household. We were no longer allowed. Who wants that? We were no longer allowed to go to restaurants, bars. All of that was closed down the fastest and reopened the latest. Sex work was really restricted as well. So I was really thinking about that on the dance floor. And so I have a background in media studies, but I also write a lot about sex and sexuality, and pleasure and fun, sort of the joint concept there. And when I was thinking about what can be found in academic literature, nobody really talks in a sort of pleasure positive way about this topic. So it's always made into something that's dangerous. So entertainment is something that should be avoided. Social media are bad for you. Sex will get you STDs or will get you pregnant, right? So fun and pleasure are always villainized. And so that made me want to do something with the topic. So that was in October 21 when I first started having the idea. So fast forward almost 4 years later, now the book is done.
And how did you approach it? Because you can write about fun, but how do you do it?
Yeah, so as I said, there isn't that much written about it. So if there's no existing knowledge available, then you need to create the knowledge or find the knowledge. So I interviewed 30 people that I deemed pleasure experts or fun experts. Part of them are other academics who have a specialization that I think is connected to fun. So I interviewed like a drugs researcher, somebody that does research into porn, but I also talked to more professional people.
I love one that you did. You talked to how do you call it?
A theme park.
A theme park consultant.
Yeah,
Which is fun.
That was my favorite person of all of them because he's really the expert.
His whole job is
and it was sort of at the end of my interviews, and all of these things, all of these insights that I already gathered from the other interviews, and everything came together in the interview with him. I almost cried. But yeah, he had some really cool things to share.
Yeah.
Do you want to have like a fun fact?
Give us an example.
Okay, so the book is all about how fun/pleasure works. That's sort of the idea. And one of the things is that fun is better with others. So to share is to multiply. And of course, they know that in the theme park world. So if you've ever been to the Efteling, which is the most famous theme park in the Netherlands, you have the wild water thing, the piranha. And it goes around, and of course, you get water splashing everywhere. So you get wet. So every ride is designed with this notion in mind that fun is better with others. So it doesn't matter where you're seated in one of these little boats, you're always facing other people. Because what is the fun? The fun is to see your dad or your friend get all that water on top of him. If you're not in the same boat together, your friends are going to be in the other boat, and it's always turning around, so you can always see it. And I was just like amazed by how thought out all of that is. Yeah.
Can you give us another example, somebody you talked to that kind of maybe opened your eyes to something?
So something that's like a difficult lesson for me personally is when there's no end to it, it's no longer fun. And I have a hard time stopping.
When you go out, for example, you just don't want to go home.
I never want to go to sleep. So, I mean, I have bedtime issues on a Tuesday, but when I'm partying, it's really, really difficult. So there needs to be an end, because if you just keep on going, then there's a point where it's really no longer fun. Either because it becomes too normal, or because the energy drains, or people are no longer nice to each other at the after party. So you need.
Sorry about that.
I think it's relatable. I can hear it.
So you need a proper ending, like a resolution. So every story has a beginning, a middle part, and an end. In a story, it doesn't matter if that's like something that you're watching on reality TV or like a proper children's story. There's always a setup, then something happens, like there's a little bit of conflict, and at the end there's a resolution. And the resolution means that everything comes together, and then it's okay, the movie's done, and you can go home. So I really, this is what I took from the book, so I really want to try to see if I can build in some kind of resolution.
Yeah, to put that in your life.
To build that after parties. I can go to bed.
Like at this moment, I'm leaving.
Yes, you need some kind of peak where everything comes together, and then that's it. You can finally sleep.
What I also find interesting, what you told us in the pre-talk, was that joy can also be an act of political resistance, for example. Can you explain that?
Yeah, so pleasure is political. It really is political, and I think all queer people can really relate to that. So the way that you have fun, the way that you can express your fun is all regulated. We are all subjected to these kind of norms. So being attracted to same-sex people is something that in our society is outside of the norm, and that's about your pleasure, right? So that's like a very fundamental thing why your pleasure is political.
Yeah. So just by existing, basically, and like living that.
By having a desire, by having certain desires that are regulated, that are forbidden in a lot of countries. It already shows that the pleasurable is political. So that's one of the other lessons from the book. And I think there's a lot of talk, of course, about whether Pride should be a party or a protest. Without getting into that, every Pride party is a protest. Because by showing your queer joy, by dancing, I don't know if you ever like gone straight clubbing.
Have you ever gone straight clubbing? I see Benoit like. So for some reason, straight people all keep each other in this kind of grip of normalcy. So straight people very rarely dance with their hands above their heads. Just watch. You see a straight person, they might do this. Or if they're really having fun like a couple. But then if you see queer people dancing, they don't care. People dance. Yeah, I see all these hands going up here. So also, even though that seems maybe so little and so everyday, I also see forms of resistance. There, resistance against the norm, against normalcy, against what average people might be doing. What I liked was you also said that there are 3 stepsisters to pleasure.
To pleasure.
Can you explain that one?
So our fun is regulated, sometimes formally by laws, as it was during COVID times, but most of the times by these norms of how you should behave and how you should not behave. And one way of ensuring the right behavior from people is by shaming people. So I'm perceived as a woman. People try to slut shame me, and that's a way of trying to control my sexual pleasure. Right? It's trying to make sure that I'm not promiscuous and that I'm not going around. So shame is one of these tools. So very often when we've had fun, that's what I write in the book, we get a visit from one or more evil stepsisters. So sisters, the 3 S's in Dutch, schaamte, schuld, and spijt. So shame, guilt, and regret. And that's how you're made to feel bad about the fun you had, to ensure that the next time you're going to get in line.
You stay in line.
You're
Yes.
going to comply. Yeah.
And why is experiencing joy seen as controversial, you think? Or shameful?
Why is it seen as shameful? It's really a tool to make sure that you don't have too much fun. Because the thing is, fun is really dangerous. It's a problem for society if we all start to have fun. So you have the book here, from the Bed to Bed. So the Dutch people in the audience will notice it's a very famous children's book. And in one of the stories, the main character, Puk, needs to save a part of the park. They're gonna put asphalt on it. And the way that he does it is he goes to visit this old hippie, and the hippie gives him a little plant called the Hasselbraam in Dutch. And I see somebody nodding like, oh yeah, I remember that. Then when the bulldozers come and all the construction workers are there, they see the plant and they see the berries and they all start to eat from the berries, and they're like magic berries, and what happens is they all start to play.
Yeah. For example, the police.
So the police starts to play, the firemen start to play, the doctor starts to play. So then a fire breaks out, and there's nobody to distinguish extinguish the fire, and somebody gets sick, and the doctor is not over there. So it's this kind of moral lesson about what happens to society if we just all go and do drugs. If we have all this fun, and that's like a very basic thing. So it's a threat to collective productivity. If we have too much fun, if you're not at your job on Monday, that can be a problem for society. Then, of course, for the big religions, they try to control our fun and our pleasure in way more ways. So that has to do with sexuality, but also, again, the amounts that we're drinking, when you're allowed to have a good time. So, for instance, in Catholicism, you have this notion of the carnival, and at the carnival, everybody can go crazy, and you can really party. But it's regulated, right? It's only within that certain time frame that you're allowed to blow off steam. So there's this long history of authorities really to try to keep us in check, to regulate us.
It is clear that you also like to have fun. Can you give our audience maybe some tips to have fun?
Yes, I definitely can. So what I think is really important for all of you, because fun and pleasure is not necessarily about physical sensations or about certain emotions. It's really about how you give meaning to certain experiences. So some people watch porn and feel very ashamed. I see somebody looking, what? And they feel very ashamed after that, so that it's not a pleasurable experience. So whatever counts as pleasure really has to do with this process of giving meaning. So it's important for you to think about what are your strong evaluations about fun. Do you feel very guilty or bad when you've been on Instagram scrolling for a while? Because then that's going to be a bad experience for you and not a fun one. So to really think about that. Also, maybe you were brought up in a Protestant environment, and Protestantism really is, I really did declare pleasure the enemy. So to think about that. And it's also really important to sort of, in a way that with food you learn how to taste, and you learn the things that you like, right? You find out that you like sweet wine or dry. You find out that you like certain vegetables from the oven and maybe not boiled, right? So you know what your flavor palette is. You should also do the same with your pleasure. So, well, I don't have to tell this audience that maybe, but explore your sexuality, explore your fetishes, find out what you like, but also in terms of leisure activities. Really try to find out what you like. And there's a lot of people who sort of on their pleasure map still have a lot of white zones that they've not explored. So that's really important. And then the third point there is you cannot have fun without letting go. You really need to let go. You need to let go of what other people are thinking. So I don't see that many women in the audience, but there's women, yeah. So there's a big orgasm gap for straight people, and one of the that has to do, amongst other things, one is that straight guys tend to be really bad in bed. I'm speaking from experience. The other thing is that women are in their head a lot, so they're really thinking about what the other person is thinking. And if you're thinking about that, you cannot let go, and then you can never come. So think about that.
So stop thinking, start coming.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a quote from the t-shirt.
I love it.
Can I ask you, what gives you queer joy, since we're on the topic?
Yeah, so I like that, Christian, a lot, and I was thinking about it. So for me, I really, joy and pleasure and fun are really contagious. So, like, I find like the most fun thing in the world for me is seeing a person having a really good time on the dance floor, like dancing with their hands above their head. But so that's a lot of queer joy for me. I really can have this kind of sense of gender euphoria when, so what I'm wearing now, when I can sit like this, that really brings me a lot of queer joy. When I don't have to be in a dress with floral prints. For me, it's really, I think, queer joy are these moments where we find pleasure outside of these norms of society and fully embrace them.
Just be authentically yourself, basically.
Yeah.
I love that example of how you are sitting. I did an interview once with somebody, and he came out to his parents. It was one big drama. And then he said, but I was so happy at one point after this conversation, I was on a tram and I was sitting like this as a man. And then suddenly I just felt myself, you know? And I didn't care whatever the fuck they said or how I was sitting. It gave me some pleasure just to be myself and let go and don't care about how people react.
And so that really tells, that's a story of liberation, right? Of finding freedom. So I really think, so there's resistance in queer joy, and it's really, I think, this expression of freedom that we might not always have, but also a kind of freedom and space that we then take up. Yeah.
Okay. So, Linda, we have a little thing on our podcast, and it is usually when people are on a sofa that they can have a little, they can use this bell.
If they want to say something.
If they want to say something. But it's a little bit difficult with so many people, so we bring it sometimes during this episode. Does anyone have questions for Linda? Does anybody want to know something about joy or about pleasure?
When was the last time you had good sex, Linda? The last time you had good sex?
Spicy, yes, thank you.
Tell you a story of the last good sex I had. The last good sex I had was actually with a straight guy, and it was. You're gonna love what I'm gonna say now. So he had a very clean dick. That can be something, and he was really good in bed, and it was sort of like a little surprise. Because that doesn't always happen. It was really hot, good sex with a good dick.
Wow, what else can you ask for, right?
Have you stayed in touch? Have you stayed in touch with the guy?
No.
No.
One and done.
So maybe also a tip for you from me, if you want to enjoy that. If you want that enjoyment, maybe send them a text. Does anybody else have a question?
I have a question. You were saying that when you're having fun and pleasure, then the three stepsisters come and have that effect. What would you say, or how do you find yourself dealing with it comes up? Do you just accept, okay, well, that porn session is now awful because I feel shame? Or is there a way that you've worked out to kind of say, no, I'm going to have pleasure and fun and push the sisters away? Like counteract that?
Yeah. Maybe for a new book to tackle shame, because I think it's such an interesting topic.
Yeah.
And shame really is something that gets a hold of you. So it's such an effective tool to suppress you. It isolates people. You get inside your head, and then it gets worse and worse and worse. And shame's grip on you just grows and grows. But you can also free yourself of it by speaking out. So I have many friends in the HIV community, and they know a lot about fighting stigma. And that's really about fighting shame as well. So stigma is sort of internalized feelings of shame that you have. Talking about it really, really helps. So I had a bad calm down after Hohl festival, and then it really helped to discuss these things that I was in my head about, to discuss them with my friends, and to be open about it. And the moment that you start talking about the things that you're ashamed of, they no longer have any power over you. So that would really be my advice. In terms of guilt and regret, it's all pointless. It doesn't do anything for you. It's really not gonna help. Like if you drank too much on one night, you have a hangover the next day, feeling guilty about it or regretting it, it's not gonna make the hangover going away.
It only will give you more headaches, right?
It only gives you more headaches. What you need to do is be nice to yourself.
Yes.
So that's what my advice is. But this is not something that's just on an individual level, because all of these elements are so tied in with others around you. It really has to do with the way that society frames all these things that bring us fun. So the way that society looks at partying all night, or all these negative things that you hear all the time about social media and doom scrolling. So it's really difficult not to feel guilty after being on Instagram for 2 hours. But remember, back in the day when I was young, people were flipping the TV channels endlessly for hours. They did not feel that bad about it because they did not have that societal discourse that told them that they should feel that bad about it. So it's easy to say that the solution is sort of with you as an individual. It's also within our society.
Amazing.
Cool. Linda, thank you so much.
Yes.
She was gone before we noticed it.
Everybody go buy the book.
Buy the book.
Yeah, did you want to say something?
No, we want to say thank you for coming and thank you for being so fabulous. And I love how you think. Like, you're an intellectual, you're fun, you're like a fantastic person, and I think it's an asset to our city, but also to the Netherlands, that there's a thinker like you who puts these words so poignantly. What is the word?
Poignantly.
On paper. You know, you make people think about things in a different way, or maybe confront things that they have to deal with, and I love that. And one last plug. For example, this was your latest book, right? Finally Knowing What Sex Is. It is a great book. Read it. Thank you for coming.
So much.
So Marco,
Yes.
I think it's time for a break.
Yeah, we're gonna have a little break, 15 minutes. You can have a pee, you can have a drink.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna be back with Lilly Akuma. See you in a couple of minutes.
Yeah. Okay. Everybody ready? Camera ready?
Yep.
Nice.
So, welcome back everybody. I hope you had a good break.
We have a little surprise for you. Our very first main character ever is here. It's Miss Kandi, baby, who is in our hearts.
I don't need this one.
Both.
Both.
Yeah.
And she has a little scoop for us. Yes, because last time we were talking about dating, about meeting nice man and love. And what happened?
So, hi everyone. I hope you're all having a happy Pride. For you who don't really know me, my name is Miss Kandi, baby. I'm all the way from Kingston, Jamaica. I lived here for almost 12 years. And yes, I did my first podcast with Marco because since I moved here, Marco has been like an amazing friend for me. It's a long story.
Check it out on the podcast.
We are, we have really bonded and made friendship and stuff. And I was really, really amazed to be on a podcast for queer stuff, trans stuff, just our people. And it was amazing. And from that time, I, talked about a little bit about myself and my life. And since then till now, I have recently been engaged.
That is amazing.
Thank you so much. I feel like, it's all right that, of course, I was on the first episode, no shade.
Of course.
You'll be back.
Yes. So I felt like, I wanted to share it. It's my first time sharing it for everyone and all my friends and everything.
Yeah, because you brought your friends in as well, right? Some of them. Yes, because they didn't know.
No.
Some
knew.
And they came.
Some knew, some didn't.
Okay.
And I'm really, really happy and I love it. I found, love. And as a trans woman, it's very difficult to, find someone who loves you and appreciate you and I'm not a princess,
No, but you deserve it. You deserve it. You're such a beautiful person.
How did it happen?
Yes. Well, how did you get asked?
Yes. Hello.
Was there like going on the knees and stuff?
So my fiance is half Greek, half German.
Okay.
He's more in touch with his Greek side.
He's more in touch with his Greek side. I love it. What does that mean?
His mom is German, his dad is Greek, but they moved way back to Greece, and they've spent most of their life in Greece. So he's more on his Greek side than his German side, of course. But he took me 3 weeks ago to an island called Ios.
No. A private island.
Not far. And his godchildren and best friends live there. And he took me there. We spent 7 days together. It was amazing. Nice. And on the last night of this vacation, we had a dinner planned. And normally he takes my Instagram pictures or my just photos, and after making my whole photos and everything, really beautiful sunsets in green.
Yes.
Work, man.
Yeah, so after the whole photo and everything, he holds me and had a whole, just intimate moment. He didn't want any of our friends to be there, any video, nothing. He wanted just to be about us and this moment. And he went down, and the first thing I did.
Nasty.
One knee. And the first thing I replied was, my makeup was a little bit ruined because I was crying.
Yeah.
And he proposed, and it was really amazing. It was very magical. And before I said I do, I was looking at the ring for a very long time. Before I said yes, I was, looking at my ring for a long time because I was really in awe.
Is it that one?
Yes.
Because we talked about rings last time, but this is the actual one. Yeah. Put it on the cameras.
We'll do a close-up.
We'll do it for you.
Yeah. Oh, here he is.
Yes, good.
It's beautiful.
I'm so happy for you. Okay. Kandi, we wish you all the best. We wish you a beautiful marriage. And let's come back to our show once you're married.
Yes.
And maybe we can do like a little marriage special because Alexander Leslie is sitting over there. He was our third guest. Yeah, he also got married. Yes.
Just come on a podcast and you'll get married.
Yeah. So and then maybe we can compare notes. How is it like freshly married, and how is it when you're already down that road?
Yeah. So Peter is next.
Yes. If he finds someone on Grindr, which he has difficulty with. He said
Watch the episode to find out what it's about.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining us. And see you soon. Big round of applause. Thank you, Kandi.
So, our next guest is Lilly Akuma.
Yes, she is a small town girl conquering the international stage.
She studied computer engineering and has lived in both Japan and South Korea as a student.
Yeah, and after that, she moved to London, where she worked in IT, imagine that, for 5 years at a bank. And then, one moment to the other, she said, fuck it, I'm gonna give this up, I'm gonna do drag.
So since then, she's been living a nomadic existence, traveling all around Europe to do shows from London to Paris and Milan, darling.
Yes, and to be clear, she does not have a home at the moment. She's just traveling.
Everywhere is her home.
Yes, she is young, she is smart, and she is full of glitter.
So a big round of applause for Lilly Akuma!
Yes, take your time. I love it.
So, welcome, Lilly.
Thank you so much for having me today.
You're welcome. You look fantastic.
I did my best. I woke up like this. No,
Did you make it yourself?
Yeah, I make everything myself.
Yeah, amazing.
So also this one.
Love it.
We can show some of your looks on screen just to see what your creativity is and the things that you do.
This is like a summary of my life.
Welcome
Flashing before your eyes. Like,
At one moment. Yeah, a bit of that.
yeah. So, how are you doing?
I'm doing really well, actually.
Yeah.
A bit tired of last week with Milkshake and all the other things, but absolutely fucking loving it.
Yeah, and you do a lot, right? You travel the whole time. You're like constantly at events.
Yeah, I'm not the person to sit still and do nothing. It's not my strength, let's say, but yeah.
So tell us about Lilly. She's your character, can I say that? Yeah. Who is she? Who's the persona that you created?
Lilly came from a really dark moment in my life that I didn't know what to do and where to point my energy to, basically, after working corporate for a long time, where I didn't fit in the way that I tried to fit in. And there was why didn't you fit in? Oh, why I didn't fit in. So I'm a woman, born woman, Eva Born, whatever you want to call it. And I was leading teams in IT, which is a male-dominated world. And then trying to make 16 men move to what you try to call leadership, try it. It's not that easy. So, and then the corporate world has their certain rules and boundaries, as we know. So, and as a woman, it's fairly difficult to fit in and do what you want to do.
So, and then you were like a little bit of a dark moment, can I say it like that?
Yeah, definitely. It was black, yeah. Pitch black. Yeah, and that's basically where Lilly started growing from. So I went back to what I absolutely loved the most when I more this. Yeah, you don't like hearing.
No, I like your voice, but I didn't think it's too.
No, but like, where were we? Now I lost it. Sorry.
Dark moment, pitch black.
Yeah. So the moment that I realized what was given to me when I was a small child and where my passion started, when I was still on stage and dancing, lip syncing, all those kind of things as a little child, that's when I was like, okay, maybe I have to go back to that. And then start from there, and basically from there on, it started developing to be the badass bitch that Lilly became.
Yeah. So you basically looked back in a point in your life, like this is when I was happy. This is what gave me joy.
Exactly.
And then how can I transform that into
and use it for a good cause.
Yeah.
And use my strengths in it. Yeah.
And you're an international person. Your parents were expats. You lived in London, in Korea, in Japan.
Yeah.
Even your name, Akuma.
Yeah, it's a Japanese last name because when I started developing Lilly, I was in Japan, traveling around as a digital nomad. So that's basically why that came to life in Japanese as well. And I searched for something that represented me because, like, I'm born and raised in the Netherlands, but I'm definitely not that Dutch anymore. So, because I lived abroad for almost 10 years now, and I'm a bit back and forth in the Netherlands at the moment, but yeah, my roots are international for sure. Yeah.
And I didn't catch it now, but Akuma means demon, right?
Yeah, it's difficult to translate Japanese directly to our language because there is not a direct translation. It comes from like a long storytelling background. It's a character which basically translates back to devil because I searched for something that's sweet next to Lilly. Because that's me. I can be sweet, but I'm not that often. It's true. And that's a thing where, like, Akuma Central, but it also means for a sentence in Japanese for change and power to change. So it was the whole world that came together for me, that created.
Like a transformation.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
Really well.
Yeah, that's why I was like, oh, this is the right thing. This is me.
I love it, yeah. What do you love about drag?
The power of it. It has so much power in it, and it has so much ability to change. That's where drag is coming from originally, is the protest for our community and the way the ability to speak and have a lovely way of activism, and that's what spoke to me most with drag. Yeah. And that's what I try to do with it as well. So very well. I'm trying. Yeah, no, but that's what spoke to me. But like the first time I saw a drag, I guess Queen, I was 3-4 years old, and my dad is still telling the story of how much I loved it. So I think it's
share the story.
We were on a holiday, probably somewhere. Gran Canaria or something like that, and I was at the table with my parents, and there was a drag queen on the stage coming on, and I just ran to the stage and screamed, and my dad couldn't get me away from it.
What did you scream? Mommy!
I don't know.
Mother.
Finally, I found her. No,
This is me later.
Yeah, I think it started there, and I always had something with drag or any like cross-dressing kind of things all my life. So, and never knowing that I would become one though. But it happens.
and tell us, because you travel a lot, you're very business savvy. Where does that come from? Because you like, if you follow Lilly, like
do that. Please follow me. I don't know which camera. Follow me. I am Lilly Akuma. I need to follow it because that's how we make a change.
But every day there is a gig.
I'm trying.
How do you realize that? Because for some people it's really difficult to get like one gig.
Yeah, as like a retired drag queen, I did one a month and it was already taxing. So
It's taking its toll. It's taking its toll on my body for sure.
Yeah.
But trying to get your finger in. That's not the right way of saying it.
Well, can be.
There's no shame. There's no shame.
Yeah, but that no, but that's basically just keep on trying. You get 100 no's and you get 1 yes, and just keep on trying it. That's the only way of getting it around. It's not easy, and I sometimes cry over no's. But the reality is that you just, if you fucking want to reach what you want to reach, go for it and fight for it.
What is your best or favorite moment in drag?
I think most importantly is that I found myself and found my authentic self. And by being able to love myself, I was able to help others. And and there's not one moment that stands out for me. It's all those small moments and small conversations.
At the moment, you're also starting a foundation, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm working currently not alone, luckily. I was happy that someone wanted to join the ride, called my manager, Charlie.
Hey, Charlie.
Because she pushed me out of my boundaries, so things that I thought were too crazy to do, she's like cheering me on that. And we faced a lot of things of not being able to get the funds in because we are not a charity. We faced that around with all the performers. And we all try to find out the new way of starting our own business and our own la. And I believe that we should combine our strengths, even though that we are fighting over the same gigs and they are normally not that well paying. But in the end, we are one community and we are fighting for one cause. And we have to stick together and get those powers together towards change. So that's why we are starting the charity, to combine that power, but also give the people that don't want to be on the stage an ability to do something, get off that butt.
Yes.
Or whatever. Yeah.
Nice. Lilly, thank you so much for being one of our guests, one of our main characters, and we're going to see you back in like 15 minutes because you're going to do a performance for us, right?
Of course.
Nice.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
I just heard that I should not directly run away.
No, we were just really happy that you said yes, because we saw your Instagram and we were really inspired by what you were doing.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, we're happy that you're here.
And I love, like, we keep saying support your local lesbian, and you're not you are pansexual, so you're not officially a lesbian, but you still felt a little bit.
I feel, if people say support your local lesbian, I feel that people talking to me. Yeah. And that was their first sentence on one of the first podcasts, and like, that's me. Yeah. And now I'm here, so you can see how some things go and happen. Yeah.
Full circle.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so everybody, give it up for. Take your moment. So, while she is going to go and change and get ready for the performance, we're going to go to the last part of our podcast already. And we're back. Every episode, we talk about queer joy as one of our main topics of the episodes. So Marco, what has given you queer joy lately?
Well, I need to check my notes. No, the thing that brings me queer joy is, for example, something like, and it sounds really bad, but I love Project Runway. And Project Runway is back on television tonight. Yes.
Disney Plus.
And I don't know, it's
without
like,
Tim Gunn though.
No, without Tim Gunn. Yeah, it's addicting. Addictive? Yeah, it's addictive. But yes, you're right. Tim Gunn is not there, and I have a weak spot for Tim Gunn. I even have like a tattoo that says "Make it work."
Make it work, designers.
Yeah, and he's just iconic. He's asexual. I don't know. I think a lot of people don't know that about him.
Often, yeah.
And I just like how he yeah, he can say things to you, like he has the best words to say that...
Very eloquent.
What you did was really bad. I remember one designer once showed him work, and then she said to him, after she explained it, she said, "What do you think?" And then he said, "I have a lot of thoughts." But having a lot of thoughts meant, no, everything you did was terrible, was terrible. And I'm also a big fan of Heidi Klum.
Love Heidi Klum.
Yeah, because Heidi Klum, she seems very sweet, but she's evil.
But in the best way.
She's evil incarnate. Yeah. And like she also does like the German version of Top Model.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody ever watches the German version of it, but it's brilliant. Yes, and then she goes to, she has like all these girls, they're like 16, 17, and then they have to do terrible things. Like, for example, there was one episode, there was a shopping mall in Berlin, and then they needed to walk over this, how do you call that one, when you're walking with a stick?
Yeah, the line.
Yeah, yeah. She needed to walk over this line. She was all the girls were like on the 3rd floor of this building, and then they had a cake on their head and they were barely clothed.
I mean, Tara is already awful, but this is worse.
but the way she does it, like she's like your mother, you know. And then these girls are freaking out, and she says, "Oh, I totally understand that you do not want to do it, and if you don't want to do it, you don't need to do it. But if you don't do it, you're out." So it's like, on the one hand, there's a spoon of sugar, and on the other hand, there's like a gun, like in your mouth, you know. I'm gonna end your career now, and you're 16, traumatizing. So yeah, I love her. So that brings me joy. What about you?
Well, I was thinking about it, and we went to 2 weeks ago, or a week and a half ago, we went to the Pride Walk here in Amsterdam, and we've done it before, but I was just walking around with you and Bojan and Pablo, and I was just seeing the people, not necessarily also in the walk, but also the allies, the straight people on the side, and you know, there was one elderly couple that was like free dad hugs, which a t-shirt on, which was really cute. I spoke to some people on the side who like asked about what it was for, so I was explaining it, and they were like really enthusiastic about it. It was just really a nice vibe. It felt really like a protest, but in the best way. But also just seeing, you know, trans people just living their lives, and you know, that just gave me joy. Just the whole Pride Walk was a very nice experience.
Yeah, I liked it as well. I find it a little bit complicated that there are 2 in Amsterdam right now, which I do not understand. Like,
it's a little double. On the one hand, it's very confusing for people because who knows, you know, when to go where. Also for the people in the city are like, what's happening? But on the other hand, we have like the whole month of Pride, and every weekend we're visible, so it's also a good thing.
But for me, it sends like some mixed signals, I think.
I mean, Pride Amsterdam has always been a little bit of a tough
Pride
thing.
is always a little bit troublesome.
Yeah, we'll get into that next year.
So yeah, hey audience.
Yeah, there's the bell again.
Yes.
We didn't forget about you. When you RSVP'd, we asked you also what brings you queer joy.
Yes.
So we have some people that responded.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I have to say, some of your answers were quite raunchy.
Which is fair.
You know who I'm talking about. You know who
you
said
know who
it.
you are.
Yeah. First of all, cock seems to be bringing a lot of pleasure to a lot of you. Yeah.
Then we have my beautiful colleague Omar, who's sitting over there. Yeah. He's like, oh no, don't talk about me. And for him, it's bodysuits and glitter.
Bodysuits and glitter, Omar.
Which he does very well.
Yes. Can you tell us a little bit about bodysuits and glitter? Why does it bring you queer joy?
Well, I think that it's also a way of like embracing that femininity. That sometimes I think that a lot of queer people that we were raised with a certain way of thinking that you should behave or dress in a specific masculine way, and then it's just embracing that feminine part and adding some extra shine and glitter.
Yes.
Well, you do it very well.
Yeah.
I must say. I mean, you just came back from the cruise, so
I'm still tired.
I'm still tired.
Yeah, so you were on a cruise. Also, were there a lot of bodysuits?
Yes, just bodysuits, nothing else.
So let me see on the list. Okay, Frank says anal with multiple partners. And his boyfriend is here who gave him just a look.
So maybe we'll skip that one.
So I think we might have to skip that.
And then we have Young, who worked with us on Stunning Magazine, which is Cyril's magazine is over there. StunningMagazine.com.
And you know what I liked about his answer?
Yeah.
He said that Young loved experimenting with how he moves and speaks and dances and dresses and expresses himself. And a couple of years ago, we went to DragCon a couple of times with Stunning Magazine. And the first time that we went there, he really liked being there, you know, but he
was a little timid still.
He was a little bit timid.
And then you're there with us, who are not.
Yeah. and Pablo, my boyfriend, he said at one point, before we went there, if you're going to go to an event where everybody dresses up, you need to have a look, right? Because then you make an impression. And then I did that. And then at one point, Young said something about the looks that I had, which weren't great, but there were something.
They were cute.
Yeah, and then
I had to get all the drag queens off of you.
Yeah, that's true. It was a bit.
It was working.
And then I said to Young, maybe like next time when you go to DragCon, bring some outfits, you know, experiment with it, you know.
Yeah.
And then I forgot about it. And the year afterwards, like we were staying in the same room. He was my roomie, you know. And then I was like putting all my clothes on hangers and stuff. And then he said, I brought some things as well, you know. And he prepared looks. And I love him for it, you know. And he was like walking around DragCon like with great looks, you know, feeling himself, you know. So and I love that he's not here unfortunately, but I love that he said that those things bring him joy, you know, like dressing up and becoming the person that you want to be.
The same freedom we talked about before, you know.
Yeah. Let's see. Do we have?
One more.
We have one more person who's here. It's Nicola. She puts gay gasp. So, do you remember what you wrote down?
I don't.
Shall I read it to you?
Sure.
Yeah. Because I really liked your answer. And I'm getting a little bit lost in my papers because I'm not digital.
I can do it if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nicola, within brackets, ally. Talk Valentina, ally. So the people in my life who are queer bring me my greatest source of love and joy. They radiate acceptance and provide a source of physical affection that I just don't get from others. Forever thankful for my community of loved ones. Rainbow emoji.
Yeah. And you're immediately getting hugged by people. Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit more about it? Why is your queer family so important to you?
It's something I discovered living here in Amsterdam, that I have a lot of gay friends, I'm not gonna lie. And it's where I get my affection. They hold my hands, they kiss me on the lips, they kiss me on the cheeks, they give me cuddles. Like, it's just something when you don't have your friends that you grew up with and your family, it just gives you such a great sense of joy to have that in your life. So yeah, I'm really appreciative of all of my of all the love in my life.
Yes, and not just that, but you also like sometimes throw a nice party. I think during Pride you're gonna do something, right?
Love a party.
Yeah. Tell us about your Pride thing. You have like a little brunch or something prepared.
Yes, gonna have a little brunch on Saturday. I love cooking, so we're gonna have salmon bagels, ham and cheese croissants, some mimosas, and then we'll go out into the parade and enjoy.
Love. Can people come if they're interested?
Yeah.
You're invited to Nicolaas. Yes, miracles. Ally.
I think that's so beautiful and also needed.
Yes.
Is there anybody else in the audience that would like to share what gives them queer joy?
Yeah, does maybe someone in the audience have like queer joy?
Frank, for instance. Oh, we already had you.
Ah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, yeah, there was he was anal, right?
Yeah. Anal mountain high enough.
Does anybody else maybe have some queer joy that they want to share?
If not, it's also fine.
That silence.
Nobody has queer joy.
You guys. Yeah, that was a common answer as well.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay, I think that's it for Queer Joy.
Yeah. I don't know if our performer is ready.
Yeah, is she?
Oh, she is.
Okay, then maybe we should move.
Yeah, we're gonna rearrange a little bit.
Performance.
And we'll be back.
Sometimes I get a good feeling,
If you can't love yourself, how in the hell you gonna love somebody else? Can I get an amen in here?
My lover's got humor. She's a giggle at a funeral. Knows everybody's disapproval. I should've worshipped her sooner. If the heavens ever did speak, she's the last true mouthpiece. Every Sunday's getting more bleak. Fresh poison each week. We were born sick. You heard them say it.
Starting here? Okay. From the very beginning, I've always made a statement. Not everyone appreciated that. That's unfortunate. But I wasn't for everyone. Speaking of statements, here's one.
I got a secret you should know. Come a little closer, whisper slow. I got a secret you should know. People say don't be so loud. Watch the words coming out your mouth. Hands crossed, don't dance and die. Follow the crowd, follow the crowd. Look up, make them all bow down. Shut up, I'ma be real loud. Get up, I don't back down. Follow me now, follow me now. We love first, no enemies. Sit around me, we energy. Here's the secret.
So we're gonna do this last one standing because otherwise we have to rearrange everything.
That's cool.
So we arrived at the end of this episode.
That's it for today. So we will be back with a special episode that we are going to tape at the Superflirt Festival.
In only 1 month from now.
In a month. So if you see us there, say hello, and maybe we can be...
Put you on a podcast.
Exactly. We want to thank the other half of our team, Pablo Speranza. And Bojan Gazibara.
That's without them. Straight. And then we want to have a huge thank you to the Social Hub, where we are now.
For hosting us for free.
Yeah.
To Pride Amsterdam.
To Meid, also for sponsoring this episode.
To Out of Focus.
Who's filming everybody.
This beautiful man who's also helping us out.
Of course, Cris Faluba for making our branding.
And also to Cyril Jacobs and Stunning. All of you, thank you so much for your support.
Yeah.
Big shout out. Big shout out to Linda Duits, to Lilly Akuma, and to Cris Faluba. Yes.
And Kandi Baby.
And Chris Kandi Baby. Thank you for watching and listening. Please like and subscribe our YouTube and our socials.
Comments, because it really helps us if you do.
Yes. So please, when you leave here, please follow us on,
either YouTube or Spotify.
Yeah, it would help us a lot. And then we're almost there, right?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Slide into our DMs if you have a question, suggestions.
Let's do this again in a month.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Happy Pride. And thank you for being with us. Yes, wait a minute.